Thank you for joining me on Paint a Beautiful Picture. Today I want to discuss the difference between normal growth and development and maturity. A kid is going to grow up. If you never have anything to do with them whatsoever, if you don't train them, if you don't help them, they are going to grow up. They might grow up smaller than they could have. I heard about a little boy that was kept in a closet, and he wasn't very tall and he wasn't very large. And I have to tell you that if he had lived a regular life and he could go outdoors and play and he could eat regularly, he probably would have been a bigger person. You can, in fact, do things that will impede your child's growth and development, even physically. But in general, a kid's going to grow. That's the way they're designed. And you have to know that things are going to develop with them. They're going to develop skills like how to walk and how to talk. They're going to develop a curious mind. They're going to have a million questions for you at 3 or 4. It's going to be why, how come, what about this? Oh, Lance, I'm telling you, there are so many questions in a curious child's mind. And they're going to grow socially. They're going to learn how to play around other kids. Now, I didn't say they would learn to play nicely. They might hit and fight and bite and scratch and say bad things to other kids, but they will learn. And over time, if they're in a decent group of peers, they'll learn to act better because their peers won't put up with that stuff. Kids are going to grow and develop. They'll grow physically. They'll learn how to run. They'll learn how to jump if you're not constantly holding them back or holding them down. They'll learn how to swing on a swing and run up and down a slide, and they'll learn how to climb a tree. They'll learn how to do a lot of things. They're going to grow and develop. That doesn't mean they're going to become mature. So, in the maturation process, it usually requires an outside force. It might be a person, it might be a set of particular circumstances. It might be something really painful that happens. It can be a lot of things, but it generally requires something outside pushing against us or them that will bring about maturity. Today's challenge question for you is, how mature am I? Or maybe even a better thing is, in what ways am I mature? In what ways am I immature? Now, let me tell you something. It's not about your age. I knew a 43-year-old mom that was having her first child, and she was freaked out of her mind. She didn't know anything about kids. She was a manager in a very upper level company. If I told you the name, you'd know it. At the national level, she could handle all kinds of problems. She could handle all kinds of people. She handled a lot of responsibility every day. But having a baby? Oh, she knew nothing about that. So she had a lot of growth and development in her job skills, but zero in her parenting skills. The good news was she recognized that. She had a lot of maturing to do to be a good parent. So just because you're older doesn't mean you're mature. Just because you've had a lot of responsibility in other areas of your life doesn't mean you're going to be a mature or capable parent. So let's talk about maturity. If you are a single mom, or if you had a child as a teenager, which I did, I had my first child at 18 years old, you are probably not terribly mature yet. That's okay. I mean, I told you right away that you're going to be honest with yourself, ideally. And so you can go, well, I'm not even that old yet. I mean, how much can I know? I haven't done that much living yet. That's why I say you have the opportunity to grow up with your kids. That's not really a problem. With a baby, you have to be selfless enough to get up with them in the night and look after them and meet their needs because they're fully incapable of meeting any need that they've got. You're it. So you have to mature in that you can acknowledge to yourself, this is bloody well inconvenient. I don't like it. I'm not wild about getting up 2 or 3 times a night and having my sleep interrupted. And man, this is rough stuff, okay? Maturity is telling yourself the truth, and maturity is acknowledging that you need to change. So, good job. That's great that you recognize something is going on. Now you need to do something about that. So you say, okay, I'm going to get up 2 or 3 times a night whether I like it or not. I have a couple of options here. One, I can be a cranky wench or SOB, whichever one you are, a guy or a woman, the next day all day long because I was inconvenienced and I didn't get enough sleep. Yes, that's an option. Or I can say, I wanted to have this baby. I'm thrilled to have this baby. Things are not what I expected. I really had no idea. And yet, I'm going to live out a place where I'm thankful and I'm happy and I remember enthusiastically that I'm thrilled about having a baby. And so I'm going to have a better attitude. That's also maturity. Okay. Maturity is recognizing that I made this choice and what attitude I have toward it or in the middle of it, that's my decision. And it is a decision. I promise you this. It isn't just everything that happens to you and you react back and that's all you've got. Oh, no, 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 no. You have the opportunity as a mature person to respond. Okay. If you say to me, I really don't like your shirt, I can go, well, I don't know what's wrong with you. This is a perfectly beautiful shirt. Look at the embroidery. Look at the color. Look at the pin tucks. Are you insane or what? Yeah, I can react. Or I can respond. I can say, yeah, I can appreciate that you don't like this color, or you don't like the design, or you don't like the buttons. Okay, but I didn't ask you to wear this shirt. And I'm going to still wear the shirt because I really like it and it's comfortable. That's a response, not a reaction. Okay? Your child comes to you and he says, Mom, I wet my pants. Dad, I made a mess and he doesn't have on his pull ups today, in my Spider Man underwear. You have two choices. You can react, you can respond. A mature person responds, an immature person generally reacts. How many times a day have I changed your clothes? Didn't I tell you you needed to wear a pull up? What is wrong with you? Right? That's a reaction. Certainly sending lots of messages I don't think you prefer to send, or you may respond. Well, let's change your clothes. Do you think you need to go back to putting pull ups on? I'm talking the first one, when a kid wets his pants. What were you doing that you were so busy you did not get to the bathroom? My one son's comment always was to me, Mom, I got really busy playing and I didn't want to take time out and come in here and have to use the bathroom. Now, you can say whatever you want, but I'm never going to lie to you. So I'm going to tell you the real deal. So I told him, I said, dude, there's a tree in the backyard. I don't care if you whip it out and pee on the tree, but don't wet your pants, please, or I'm going to put you back in pull ups. Needless to say, though occasionally I'd look out the back window and my kid would be peeing on a tree, I didn't have to change his clothes over and over anymore. Your response is your business. My point is you can respond rather than react. Okay, now I'll tell you what I did with a 4-year-old one time who messed his pants. Not my own kid, but I was watching him. I said, so you need to go in the bathroom and take off your outer pants, which thank God were not messy. And then you need to take off your underwear and you need to rinse those out in the toilet. Oh, I'm not putting my hands in that toilet. There's no way. That's disgusting. I said, well, we have two options here. You're going to rinse out those underwear because it's just as gross for me to rinse them out as you, but they're your underwear and you made that mess. Or you can wear that until your mother gets home and explain it to her. That's a response. That kid washed out his underwear. I'm telling you right now, his mom told me he didn't mess his pants anymore. Sure, it's easy when you got to clean it up, but he didn't like that one teeny weeny bit. And he did it. He quit messing his pants. My point being, maturity responds, it doesn't react. Okay? All right. So, what are some other signs of a mature person? Okay. Often they're confident. So, if you're not very self confident, if you sort of have an inferiority complex, you think other people are better than you, or smarter than you, or more well educated than you, we'll talk about that as we go along. This is just an assessment of how mature are you. Or do you say, do you know what? I might only be 17 years old, but I'm pretty smart, and I'm reasonably capable, and I am a good learner, and I'm going to learn. I am dedicated to learning. And yes, I might be a young parent, but I'm going to be a good parent. And I really love my child. So I know that I can do this. That is maturity. As I told someone not that long ago, If you've only done something for a year or two, you cannot expect to be as good at this as someone who's done it for 20. They have experience and they just have time on their side. But if you have a willing heart and you're working diligently at becoming what you really believe that you can be, that is a mature response. So don't let someone tell you things because you're young, you can't do this, and don't buy it. I'm telling you right now, you are very capable of being a good parent. In fact, honestly, I believe that you are fully capable of being a great parent. I really believe it. As long as you're willing to grow and develop and learn new skills, you will be a great parent. Another sign of maturity is the capacity to cope. Okay? And we'll talk about that tomorrow. Developing coping strategies. You know, sometimes I'm going to give you an illustration that I heard. This is one of the best ones I ever heard. We respond to things in a certain way, and either we cope well or we cope badly. Okay, so a woman gets this phone call and they say, "Congratulations, you just won an all expenses paid trip to Paris." And she's like yelling and screaming, "Yay!" And they say, "Do you have a passport?" And she says, "Yes." And they said, "Okay, you have to go tomorrow." Here are the two possibilities. She goes, "Oh, tomorrow? I don't have anything to wear. I don't have a visa. I I I won't have enough money to spend because I want to do this and I want to do this and oh, this is terrible. How could you do this to me? This is pitiful. I can't go to Paris. No." That's her decision. Okay? I really want you to know that. She didn't cope well with great news. Wow. Okay. All right. Here's the other possibility. Tomorrow? Wow. I'm going to clear my calendar. I know I can get a visa. I mean, I can get one at the airport if I absolutely have to do it. And let's see. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to get off this phone because I've got to go to the bank. I'm going to take out most of my savings because I have big plans. I might not get to do everything that I originally thought I would do, but this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm going to do what it takes. And oh my goodness, I would have gone shopping, but I don't have time. So I'll borrow clothes from my neighbor or my mom or my sister and take my best stuff with me, and I'll look great. Do you see the difference? It isn't the storyline, it's what are you going to do with it? And maturity is finding a way to cope. Did you hear all that in there? She's going to get to the bank and take out her savings. That she might have had plans for that savings, but honey, this is a once in a lifetime chance. She might have not have all the clothes and would have gone shopping, but she'll borrow things from people. And I think if you tell somebody, your mom and your best friend and your neighbor, that you're getting to go to Paris, they'll loan you their nicer clothes. It's not like you're going to tear them up. She's going to find a way to get a visa. She's coping with what she heard, and she has strategies to do it. It isn't the event that matters. It is how are you doing with that event? And that demonstrates maturity. Okay? The last thing I'm going to say to you about this is don't try to force it. Okay? They put seeds in the ground in greenhouses and hothouses and they force them to develop over quickly. They don't have the same longevity. They don't have the same flavor. There are a lot of things that can go wrong in that forcing process. Especially if you're listening to me today and you're pregnant or you have a baby, please don't try to force anything. Try to gain the skills, try to begin to develop and become a mature person, but don't feel like you have to be in a big rush. If you have a teenager and you're frustrated and you're seeing things in your family that aren't quite what you wish they were, again, you can't rush this. You get 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. Make really good use of that time, but don't try to force it. It will come. Okay, I really hope that you understand maturity a little bit better. And as you continue to persevere with this program and develop skills, you will mature. You will mature as a person, and you will mature as a parent. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble And you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button. Thank you so very much for joining me today.